Courtesy of Banggood.com, they were nice enough to send me out the new Eachine QX90C Pro, and it's a micro FPV racing quadcopter. It's binding fly and it comes in FR Sky, Fly Sky or DSM2 DSM-X receiver. And you also get 3 different packages as well. You get a basic package where you get 1 battery, a spare set of propellers, a USB charger and a prop tool. And then you get a standard combo where you get 3 batteries and everything that I just mentioned, or you get the Fly More combo where you get a whole load of stuff, and I'll show you the whole load of stuff that you get in it. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 spare sets of Ladybird propellers, and the props are 55mm in width. You do get a prop tool and a little hook that hooks your FPV camera onto the little holder that you get. And the holder that you get, you also get an extra holder and shell right here, as you can see, and you do get a spare frame as well. And I'll tell you, you're going to need it because I've already bent mine on the first crash, and you'll see it in the footage. Right, a whole lot of batteries. You get 5 batteries, so that'll keep you flying for a very long time. And the batteries are 1 cell 3.7 600 milliamp batteries with a lossy style connector cable on it. The batteries themselves are 16 grams. The length of the battery is 42mm. The width of the battery is 24mm. The thickness of the battery is 8mm. And that's just about it for the batteries, so let's get them out of the way. You also get a cable, well, a screwdriver, because it's an adjustable camera on your quadcopter. You get a cable, a charger, and an adapter for your charger. And this charger is really, really good indeed. I like it. You can buy it separate, and if you check in the link in the description below, there you can buy it. It's a Charson BC1S05 1 cell LiPo. Well, it charges at 0.5 amps, only for 1 cell LiPo batteries. Has the lossy plugs here, but you can convert them, you know what I mean, to whatever you like. You plug your battery in and the green light will come on, and when it's finished charging, it will turn itself off. The light will go off. At the beginning, once you've plugged in all the batteries, it does tend to get rather hot, but it cools down after it starts to balance everything out. Now, like I said, you do get an adapter with it, but I didn't use this one. I used my own. Just make sure you get the correct voltage, and the voltage that you are looking at is between 7 volts and 30 volts, which is a barrel connector here, but 30 volts is overkill. And you have a USB port out, that's 5 volt out, and that's just about it for this little charger. And I can tell you, it does the job really well. I checked the cells, I checked the battery voltage after they were done, and they were just about right. They were just about right on the button, so I can't complain about this charger. If you want to buy it separate for your other quadcopters, go and do so. It's quite cheap. Like I said, the link's in the description. And also you get this cable so you can take it out in the field, plug the barrel connector in, and take your LiPo, take a 2 cell LiPo battery out, 3 cell LiPo, and charge your 1 cell LiPo batteries up. So that's really, really good indeed. Okay, let's get on to the quadcopter itself. The quadcopter weighs 35 grams, and of course it's a 90mm quadcopter from motor shaft to motor shaft with those 55mm Ladybird props. Now, I don't like this at all already. These front motor wires are jammed under the canopy, if you can see right here, and at the other side as well. That's not good at all, is it? No. So I'm going to have to modify that and make a little slice on the canopy on the canopy so it doesn't get jammed there anymore. Now you can unhook the canopy off, which is quite easy. It just pops off like so, and you can see it also comes with a buzzer because it's running Betaflight 3.2.2 with a built-in OSD and buzzer if you want to use the buzzer. I don't, because I really can't hear high-pitched noises. I have a problem with that, and I don't know why, but that's just me. It's running an AIO F3 brushed board, and that is your antenna right there, and you have your micro USB socket at the back so you can plug it into your computer. A word of warning here, this board is not it's not stuck onto the frame very well. It's stuck on with two little bits of foam. So when you push that micro USB cable in there, make sure you hold the front of the main board, because if you don't, you can push that board, and when you push that board, you push the motor wires inside, because it's not plug and play, they're soldered to the board, and when you push it, they can get ripped off. And also when you're pulling the micro USB cable out, you'll have to hold the back of the board and pull it out, and obviously you'll get your lossy plug here to plug your battery in. And that's another thing, the batteries are a very tight fit at the back, and sometimes I've felt like I'm going to bust these bits of plastic. Now, what I was saying about the durability of the frame, well, there you go. There's the durability of the frame. That was in my first crash. I'd flown how many flights? 3 flights. It must have been on my 4th battery, and first landing onto a bit of the slabs out the back area, and it bent just like that. The frame is not very durable at all, so you will need spare frames or some kind of other frame. It's up to you what you're going to do. Now, the motors themselves are 8520 brushed black edition coreless motors, and I can tell you these motors are a blast. I love the speed of this thing flying it out the back. I flew this, then I flew the Eachine QX90C out the back and did some flips and rolls with it, but it just didn't have enough punch to keep it off the ground, because you know at my back area there's lots of wires, and this just felt so underpowered compared to this. This was excellent. I thought I was flying in air mode, which I wasn't. I was flying in horizon mode, I think. But the flight experience was amazing. It was fast, and I loved it. I loved every minute of it. We had storms here again recently, and I was just waiting for the opportunity to get out, and I did get out. Now, let's get on to the 3-in-1 camera and VTX. It's a 25 milliwatt VTX, 48 channels running on 5.8 gigahertz, of course, with a little whip style antenna here. And on the top, you won't be able to see it. It's the exact same as the QX90C. It has a little button at the top that you can see right through there. And once you plug it in, after you've plugged it in, you'll see a blue LED light and a red LED light. The blue LED light is to change your bands, and the red LED light is to change your channel. Now, to change your band, all you need to do is press the button once, and to change the channels, you press the button and hold it, and it will change the channel. The red light will move. The camera itself is a 130 field of view, 600 TVL CMOS camera. It's not too bad. It's not the best. It's not the worst, but it does the job from what I see. Now, there is a couple of things. Let me just show you the manual first. It doesn't tell you how to change the VTX channel in the manual. That's the funny thing. But it does tell you how to set your radio up, because I've got the DSM-X DSM-2 version, and we'll go through that when I get over to the computer in a minute. Now, you've got to do the exact same as what I did with the QX90C. So It was like doing everything all over again. Now, once you've went through the setup with me on the computer, what you'll want to do after you've bound it up, this is after you've bound it up, not before, and you've created a new model, you want to go to travel adjustment. Will you go in there, please? You want to put your throttle down to 125%. Come out of that. Then what you want to do is go to your flaps, because you're going to use that as a switch to change between angle mode, horizon mode, or air mode, whatever. You want to put flaps normal up to 100 and come out of there, go to setup list, and we want to go to reverse, because your airlay and your rudder is reversed, and I just reversed them in my transmitter because I find that a lot easier. You can do it in Betaflight as well, but I did not. And another thing, you will probably say, okay, that's it, and I'll put the gear switch and we can go and fly. No, you're not quite ready yet. You will need to, on the trim button for your throttle, you'll need to give it 1 or 2 clicks down until you can take off. You'll find the sweet spot. Just arm it and give it a little throttle, and if you're not getting nothing, just give it a wee click down until you do get some throttle, and that will be you done. But don't forget, run through Betaflight first, get it bound up first, then do these settings on the transmitter. Now it's time to get over to the computer and run you through Betaflight. Now, once you've downloaded Betaflight, make sure you've got your USB drivers installed here. My mouse is highlighting the STM drivers. If you don't download and install them, or else your computer will not recognize the quadcopter. Now I'm just going to plug the quadcopter in at the moment, and don't forget to hold the front of your main board, or else it might slide forward and bust those wires up like I had showed you before. Now let me just click connect, and that's us connected up. Now what you want to do is go down to the bottom where it says CLI, and you want to type in dump, and after you've typed in dump, you want to copy and paste the whole lot that you see here all the way to the top, everything, and bring Notepad up and paste it into Notepad and save that somewhere safe on your computer, because that will be your default configuration for your flight controller. Now after that, what you want to do is type in set spectrum underscore sat underscore bind equals 9 and hit enter. Now I don't have to do this because I've already went through the procedure. Now after you've done that, you want to type in save and you want to hit enter. Now the Betaflight will restart itself. It's disconnected. Pull the plug out of your quadcopter and leave it out for a couple of seconds. Now plug it back in, and it will automatically connect back up. And if you look in front of the quadcopter, you'll see an orange light just underneath the FPV camera. It will be flashing on and off real quick. Now hold the bind button on your transmitter and turn your transmitter on. And once you have done that, you'll find that that orange light will stop blinking really fast, and that will be you completely bound up. But now we'll need to go back into the CLI tab, for the simple reason is you'll need to type something else in, and you'll need to type in something similar except for change the 9 round and put 0 there, hit enter, then type in save again, hit enter, and that will be you done. The reason why you have to do that is if you don't, when you plug in your battery to connect up to your transmitter, it won't remember the bind procedure, but now that you've done that, it will. So we are all connected up. Let's go to, well, we don't need to go to ports. I've just disconnected that by accident. I must apologise. Let's go to configuration. Now we've got motor stop. We don't want the motor spinning up when we've armed the motors, so we'll just leave that as is. We don't have a barometer, we can take that off. I've just left most of the stuff on. I mean, like a LED strip, we don't have that. Just don't forget, everything that you change here, just hit that save button. We do have an OSD. Let me see what else. And this is for your beeper, of course. You can change any of these settings. I've left them all as they are, even for the battery as well. PID tuning, I have not touched nothing. And under the receiver, you can see that everything's working fine. Now, let's go to modes. Now, don't forget, look back at the video, because when I showed you how to configure your transmitter so you could use that flap switch. Now, it's on air mode just now, but because we've not armed the quadcopter and motor stops on, it won't spin up. Now, if we arm it, we're automatically in air mode. If we hit the flap switch, we're out of air mode and we're in angle mode. You can switch this about to your preference. You can change all settings any which way that you like. It also has a LED strip here, which we don't have, so that doesn't matter at all. That's it for Betaflight, and now all you need to do is just disconnect it. I hope some of this information has been of useful to you. Hope you enjoyed the flight that was coming up. I was flying in horizon mode, I do believe. I was on, I flipped the wrong switch. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check the links in the description below, and thank you for watching, and happy flying, my friends.